What is going on? Wrestling vs. family. If you're just joining us, welcome to what might be the most difficult video I've ever had to make for this channel. And if you've been with us for a while, you know we cover all the biggest wrestling news, but today hits different. Today, we're talking about something that has sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world and left millions of fans absolutely heartbroken. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, two of the biggest names in professional wrestling, one of the most iconic power couples in WWE history, are reportedly getting divorced. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Visionary and the Man, the couple that gave us one of the greatest love stories in modern wrestling, may be going their separate ways. Before we dive deep into this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell because this is a conversation the entire wrestling community is having right now. And family, I need to say this up front. This video is going to be respectful. These are real people with real lives, real emotions, and a real family. We're going to discuss this like adults, not like gossip columnists. Drop a comment below sending positive energy to both Seth and Becky, because regardless of what's happening, they both deserve our respect and support. Now let's talk about this situation. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are wrestling royalty. Individually, they're two of the most accomplished wrestlers of their generation. Together, they became something special, a couple that represented everything great about the wrestling business. Their story felt like something out of a movie, two people at the absolute top of their profession who found love with someone who truly understood the demands, the sacrifices, and the passion required to succeed in this industry. Seth Rollins, Colby Lopez in real life, is a Grand Slam champion, a multiple-time world champion, a Royal Rumble winner, and one of the most consistent main event performers WWE has seen in the past decade. The architect, the messiah, the visionary, whatever persona Seth has embodied, he's always delivered at the highest level. His matches are legendary, his commitment to the business is unquestionable, and his impact on WWE is undeniable. Becky Lynch, Rebecca Quinn in real life, is quite simply one of the biggest stars in wrestling history. The Man became a cultural phenomenon, transcending wrestling to become a mainstream icon. She main evented WrestleMania, won both women's championships simultaneously, and proved that women could carry an entire company on their shoulders. Her journey from struggling independent wrestler to the face of WWE is one of the most inspiring stories in the business. When these two got together, it felt right. They started dating around 2019, and fans immediately embraced their relationship. Here were two people who had clawed their way to the top, who understood the grind, who respected each other's craft, and who genuinely seemed to bring out the best in each other. Their chemistry was obvious both on screen and off, and the wrestling world celebrated their love. They got engaged in August 2019, and the announcement sent the wrestling community into celebration mode. Social media exploded with congratulations, fellow wrestlers shared their happiness, and fans around the world were genuinely excited for them. This wasn't just celebrity news, this felt personal because we'd all watched their individual journeys and now we were watching them build something beautiful together. In June 2020, they got married in a private ceremony. The timing was during the pandemic, so it was an intimate affair, but that somehow made it even more special. Here were two of the biggest stars in the world choosing to commit to each other during one of the most uncertain times in modern history. It was romantic, it was real, and it gave fans something positive to celebrate during a really difficult period. Then in December 2020, they welcomed their daughter Rue into the world. The announcement was beautiful, the photos they shared were touching, and the wrestling community rallied around them with love and support. Becky had to step away from WWE during her pregnancy, but she did so knowing she had Seth's full support and that they were building a family together. It seemed like they had everything figured out. Becky returned to WWE in 2021 with one of the greatest comeback moments in wrestling history. She returned at SummerSlam, won the SmackDown Women's Championship in seconds, and immediately re-established herself as one of the top stars in the company. Throughout her return and subsequent run, Seth was always supportive, always proud, and they seemed to be balancing parenthood and their demanding careers beautifully. Seth continued his own incredible run, delivering some of the best character work of his career. His visionary persona, his matches with Cody Rhodes, his feuds with Roman Reigns, everything Seth touched turned to gold. And through it all, He spoke glowingly about Becky, about their daughter, about how becoming a father changed his perspective on wrestling and life in general. It all seemed perfect. So when reports started circulating about potential marital issues, fans were skeptical. There had been no public drama, no obvious signs of trouble, no indication that anything was wrong. Sure, they both had incredibly demanding schedules, but they'd always seemed to make it work. They were professionals who understood the business and each other's commitment to it. But now, reports suggest that divorce proceedings may be underway. And family, this is where we need to be very careful with our words and very respectful of their privacy. The details of what led to this potential divorce are not public, and they don't need to be. Whatever is happening between Seth and Becky is their business, and their business alone. What we can talk about is the reality of maintaining a relationship in the wrestling business. The schedule is brutal, the physical toll is immense, the mental and emotional demands are constant, and the time away from home is extensive. Even for couples who both work in wrestling and theoretically understand these challenges, it's still incredibly difficult. Add in the responsibilities of parenthood, and the challenges multiply exponentially. Both Seth and Becky are at stages in their careers where they're still top stars, still main eventing shows, still carrying major storylines. That means they're both required to be at almost every television taping, every premium live event, every media appearance. When you have a young daughter at home, that creates a situation where someone always has to make a sacrifice, where someone's always missing something important. There's also the reality that people change and grow, sometimes in different directions. Seth and Becky got together when they were both hungry, both climbing, both chasing their dreams with everything they had. Now they've achieved those dreams. They're established stars, they're wealthy, they're accomplished, and maybe their priorities and visions for the future have evolved in ways that don't align anymore. None of this is to speculate about what specifically went wrong, because again, we don't know and it's not our place to know. But it's important to understand that even when two people love each other, even when they have a child together, even when they seem perfect from the outside, relationships can still struggle and sometimes end. That doesn't make anyone a villain, it just makes them human. The wrestling community has reacted to this news with an outpouring of support for both Seth and Becky. Fellow wrestlers have been largely silent publicly, which is appropriate given the personal nature of the situation. Fans have been split between shock, sadness, and a desire to respect their privacy. The overwhelming sentiment seems to be that whatever is best for them and their daughter is what matters most. It's worth acknowledging the impact this has beyond just Seth and Becky. Their daughter is young, and while she may not fully understand what's happening now, this will shape her life moving forward. Both Seth and Becky have spoken about how much they love being parents, how their daughter changed everything for them, and how committed they are to giving her the best life possible. That commitment doesn't end with divorce, it just changes form. There are also extended families involved, friends, colleagues, and a support system that has been built around their relationship over the years. Divorce creates ripples that extend far beyond just the two people signing papers. It affects everyone who cares about them and has been part of their journey together. For WWE, this is a sensitive situation as well. Both Seth and Becky are major stars, both are under contract, and both will likely continue working for the company in some capacity. WWE has historically tried to keep personal issues separate from on-screen storylines, and that's probably the best approach here. Nobody wants to see their real-life struggles exploited for entertainment purposes. Moving forward, both Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch will continue their careers. They're both too talented, too dedicated, and too professional to let personal issues affect their work. In fact, some wrestlers have channeled personal pain into their best performances. Not that we want anyone to be in pain, but artists often create their most powerful work during difficult times. Seth has been rumored to be dealing with some injuries lately, so a break from active competition might actually be beneficial for him physically. When he returns, whether it's in a few weeks or a few months, the wrestling world will be ready to welcome him back and support whatever he does next in the ring. Becky has been navigating her own career path, exploring different creative directions and continuing to prove why she's one of the greatest of all time. Her legacy is already cemented, but she's someone who always wants to push boundaries, always wants to do something new and exciting. Whatever comes next for her will be must-see television. The question that many fans are asking is whether Seth and Becky can maintain a professional relationship if they do get divorced. The wrestling business is filled with examples of exes who have had to work together, and it's always complicated. But both Seth and Becky are consummate professionals who understand that business is business, and they both love this industry too much to let personal issues interfere with their careers. There's also the question of how they'll handle co-parenting while both maintaining active wrestling careers. That's going to require coordination, compromise, and a commitment to putting their daughter first no matter what. Many divorced parents successfully navigate these challenges, and there's no reason to think Seth and Becky won't figure it out as well. What's important for all of us as fans is to remember that we're watching real people dealing with real-life situations. This isn't a storyline, this isn't entertainment, this is two people who are going through something incredibly difficult and painful. The least we can do is offer them grace, respect their privacy, and support them both as they navigate this next chapter. Social media can be a toxic place during times like this. There will be people who feel the need to take sides, to assign blame, to create narratives based on zero actual information. Don't be that person, family. Don't contribute to negativity. Don't spread rumors. Don't make this harder for them than it already is. Instead, let's celebrate what Seth and Becky have given us over the years. Let's remember the incredible matches, the inspiring moments, the times they made us believe in the magic of professional wrestling. Let's appreciate that they found love in this crazy business, that they created a beautiful family, and that regardless of what happens next, they'll always share that history together. Divorce doesn't erase the good times. It doesn't invalidate what they built together. It doesn't mean their relationship was a failure. Sometimes love evolves, sometimes paths diverge, and sometimes the healthiest thing two people can do is acknowledge that and move forward separately. If that's what's happening here, then we should support it, even if it makes us sad. Wrestling vs. Family, thank you for watching this video and for approaching this topic with the maturity it deserves. This is not easy to talk about, it's not easy to process, and it's definitely not easy for Seth and Becky to live through. Our job as fans is simple: send love, send support, and give them space to handle their private lives privately. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button. If you want to continue having respectful, mature conversations about wrestling, subscribe to Wrestlingverse and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment below with your favorite Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch moment. Let's fill this comment section with positivity and appreciation for two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Share this video with your wrestling friends, but share the message too: respect, privacy, and support for both of them. Follow us on social media at WrestlingVerseCC for more updates, always delivered with integrity and respect for the real people behind the characters. Thank you for being part of this community. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, remember that wrestlers are people too, that everyone deserves compassion during difficult times, and that the best way we can support our favorites is by respecting their humanity. Peace out, Wrestling vs. Family. Stay respectful, stay positive, and we'll talk soon.